Hello and happy Have a Hard Day to you.
We are from Thornwood Public School in Mississauga, Ontario, and we wanted to share with you what we have been working on.
Well, the grade 3s here have been very busy getting ready for Have a Hard Day. We were shocked to learn about how some of the First Nations children don't get the same funding for school that other kids in Ontario do.
Some First Nation children go to schools that have mold in them, freezing cold portables, and dirty water.
Not only that, but many First Nation children don't get the same health services that other kids get. I mean, how unfair is that?
That's right, it is unfair. So we think the government of Canada needs to do better. So, we have made a little video to show that we care about the First Nations. You are important to us and to Canada, and we want to help you.
Many of us here at Thornwood are new to Canada. Through learning about the customs and traditions of Canada, we have also been taught to be proud of our own culture and language. We want you to be proud of your culture also. After all, the First Nations were the first culture here.
We have put together a little video to show our support for you.
Our hope is that every First Nations child has the same chance to grow up safely, get a good education, be healthy, and proud of their culture.
Finally, we just want you to know that we love you.
आप सब प्यार करते हैं. نكون تتوى. أنتني بيان كتير. نحن بنحبكم. نعم بلبي نبدأ.
وما أعني.
أنا أحبك. كهامشة.
The grass dance is a fast-paced dance usually performed by men. The dance was performed to flatten the tall grass for ceremony or battle. Nowadays, you can see a grass dance at a powwow, which is a cultural gathering. The dance has a double step move, and each step should be in time with the beating drum.
The fancy shawl dance is a fun dance usually performed by women. The dancers often look like butterflies with their colorful shawls. This dance focuses on balance and symmetry. The ladies wear brightly colored shawls to remind us of the transformation from cocoon to butterfly.
We decided to create a mashup of both dances and put them together.
We took 2 parts fancy shawl, 1 part grass, and mashed them up. It's a mashup.
So, a trickster is a character who has special powers and can change his shape and form. You often see him in First Nations stories, and he'll make connections between the human world and animal world. We have created a retelling story of the raven. In our story, the raven plays the trickster character. In the beginning, there was no light in the world. So the raven went to find it and brought it to the people. We hope you have a wonderful time retelling our raven story.
Hey, why did you lie to us? There's no iPods in the gym.
Trickster!
All the world was in darkness. The sky above was in darkness. The waters below were in darkness. Men and women lived in the dark and cold. Raven was sad for them. He said, "I will search for the light." Raven flew across valleys and across mountains. There was darkness all around, but then he saw a bit of light far away. He flew and came closer to the light. The light was at the edge of the water. The light was coming from the house of the Sky Chief. He saw a beautiful young girl. It was the Sky Chief's daughter. She knelt and drank some water from a woven basket. Raven changed himself into a pine needle. He fell down from the tree and floated on the water. And when the girl drank again, she swallowed the pine needle. After a time, the girl gave birth to a child. The child was small and dark, with shiny black hair and tiny black eyes. Who do you think the child was? It was Raven. Raven had been reborn as a boy child. The Sky Chief was delighted with his daughter's child. He called him grandchild. He played with the boy and carved toys for him. He invited the elders to come and see the curious, wonderful child. The elders gathered in the shining house with the Sky Chief and his daughter. They watched Ravenchild crawl around the floor of the lodge. He pretended to be playing, but all the time he was trying to find where the light was hidden. Raven saw a box in the corner of the lodge. The box was large. It was carved and painted with gold colors. The box was so bright that it glowed. Ravenchild pointed to the box. "What do you want?" asked his mother. Raven began to cry. "What does the child want?" asked the elders. The Sky Chief finally said, "My grandchild wants the box." One of the elders placed the box in front of the Ravenchild. When Raven took the lid off of the box, light poured out of it. This light flooded the room. And inside the box was a shining ball, blazing with light. And what do you think the ball was? It was the sun. "Give him the ball," said the Sky Chief. Ravenchild took the ball and he stopped crying. He began to play with it. He rolled it around the floor of the lodge. And then Raven began to change. He was changing into a bird. Ravenchild became Raven once again. Sky Chief, his daughter, and the elders looked on in amazement. Raven plucked up the ball of light in his beak, and he flew through the small hole of the lodge, and then disappeared into the sky. Raven flew over the valleys and the mountains. He flew along the rivers and across the lakes. Raven threw the sun high up into the sky, and it stayed there. This is how Raven stole the sun and gave it to all of the people. And why do the people always feed Raven? To thank him for bringing them the light.
And now for the grandfathers.
Now for the 7 grandfather teachings.
The story of the 7 grandfathers' teaching was passed down from parent to child for many generations. The teaching shares some of the traditional values of First Nations people and encourage us to love and respect one another.
The career gave the 7 grandfathers who were very wise the responsibility to watch over the people. The grandfathers saw that people were living a hard life. There was all kinds of sickness and bad things around. They decided to send a helper to find a person who could be taught how to live in a good way with all of creation.
Finally, the 7 grandfathers found a baby boy who because he was just born, was pure. This baby was ready to receive the teachings and then bring these teachings back to the people and show them how to live.
The 7 grandfathers taught the baby boy and returned him to his people. Because the baby had spent so long in the spirit world, he was now an old man.
The old man gathered all the people around and told them of his time spent in the spirit world and the 7 grandfathers' lodge. He explained how to use the gift that he had learned and that it was now up to the people to try to follow the path of a good and healthy life using the 7 grandfathers' teaching. This is what they taught him.
To cherish knowledge is to know wisdom. Nashib.
Cha.
Somin. Jalak. To know love, to know peace. Pyar. Pyar.
Ew.
Pyar. Pyar. Beheb. Respect. To honor all creation is to have respect. What is that?
To be brave is to have a fearless heart.
Bimadri. Shahush.
Honesty is facing a difficult situation. It is to be brave.
Such.
Humility is to know yourself a part of creation. We are all connected.
Halwasha.
Khyan.
To know truth is all of these things.
Satya. Sach.